Oh, hey, hello, how are you? What's going on? Welcome back to Stu Maker. I'm Stu and I like to make things, and don't mind the mess. I was working on some other video ideas, but we'll see how that goes. But I think first and foremost is actually wait. Speaking of the background. Shh. Speaking of backgrounds, look at that. What's that? Oh, look, this is just my art book here, mainly for my card game and stuff. I'm thinking of doing a volume 2 at some point. We'll see. Game keeps evolving, things change, but I'm not putting. So originally, I wanted to have a whole different video planned and all that stuff, like doing issue 0.2 from a Baphomet comic. I wanted to do a bunch of them, but unfortunately, I've been working on a TV pilot for this competition that's coming up. So that means I haven't been able to dedicate a whole lot of time to doing the comic book and stuff, but that's coming up. But I have wanted to talk about a specific topic that's been kind of like, I see a lot everywhere, and honestly, I just got a comment, a very nice comment. Here, let me pull it up real quick. Une seconde, monsieur. From Sake River VT. I'm assuming that's how you say your name. Sorry if it's not. But definitely would love to see more like this from you. I find it very hard to finish anything because I can't allow myself to be very free with even thumbnail sketches. It's interesting seeing your progress and just how much you can get through your work with your workflow. I totally understand where you're coming from. It's very easy to get kind of like stuck and not wanting to finish things because you're just so kind of like in your head about it. So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking all about sketching and kind of how to like loosen yourself up. Now, I think, the biggest part about this is, you just kind of have to go for it. And I know that's like easier said than done, but I think I've never really had the issue of, getting kind of stun locked. I mean, I don't know, as a writer, like sometimes you write the first page and you're kind of like seeing the blank page and you're like, oh crap, I gotta fill this up. But usually I'm pretty good at just like vomiting words out or just vomiting lines out. And I think that's just something I've been able to do. I don't think about it too hard. I just go into it. Sometimes I do get like really in my head about it. So this is definitely for those type of people. And if that's kind of you, some of my tips might come in handy. People do tips, right? Top 5, top 20 tips, top 8 tips, to make money in this marketplace. I don't know. I don't have that. We're not doing that video today. And honestly, I don't even think I'm qualified to do that. So either case, let's start with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is very simple. Your iPad, your Sketchpad, whatever you use, your digital thing, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Don't use it today. Get rid of it. Throw it away. Pretend it doesn't exist because as of right now, it doesn't. Because for the very simple fact that I feel like, when I was drawing, we didn't have iPads and stuff like that, right? Like, I mean, there was like digital for sure, but like it wasn't, like as prevalent as it is today. Not saying I'm super old, okay? Don't get that idea. What I am saying though is I have such a specific way of making art. And for me, I have like a whole little lens cap cup just full of like pens, markers, and crap. So usually what I used to really like drawing with is like a pen. This is actually a Sharpie pen, by the way, cool pen, and a Sharpie. Yeah, this is a really big one. Sometimes they're not that big, but this one's pretty big. And yeah, usually just that and it's a piece of paper because that's just all I had. And I hated pencils. So if I made a mistake or anything, you can't really take it back. You can maybe Sharpie over it, maybe you get a little more of exuberant shadows going on, but that is what it is. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 1, get rid of the iPad. Let's focus on the physical. Tip number 2, get a pen, Sharpie, and a piece of paper because we're going to be drawing on paper today. We're going to be basically saying no mistakes, only happy little accidents. All right, so here we go. We got a bunch of my drawings here. I do a lot in pen and sketch and stuff. Jesus Christ. These drawings here are by no means like, all my drawings and stuff like that. These are just some of the like loose paper that I had lying around. As you can see here, a lot of pen, a lot of Sharpie kind of stuff. And part of my process, something I'm going to teach you guys real soon. Literally, it's just draw a bunch of squiggly lines everywhere and kind of see what comes up. We'll go over this again later, but as you can see here, I literally just drew a bunch of like really sharp lines and then kind of found an image from there. I think that's going to be the biggest thing here. Same thing with this one. Same thing with this one, actually, weirdly enough. This one too, I literally just, you kind of have to find the drawing as you're kind of sketching and making random lines. This one kind of not as successful, but that's fine. We don't need to be successful every time. All we need to do, now this one's actually pretty cool. I like the way this one came out. All we need to do is just make stuff. I think that is going to be the biggest thing here. We just need to let our imaginations go, see what comes to us, kind of go from there. So that's going to be tip number 2. My arm hurts after that. This camera is not light. So I think, oh, actually, here's the best one. I was waiting for this one. Here we go. Here's this guy. This one's actually really sick. I love the way the fire kind of looks. And this was literally just off of doing my exercise. And with a little bit of little elbow grease, a little bit of rolling up the sleeves, you too will have a bunch of random drawings. But see, that's fine. Random drawing is good, because if you're having trouble finishing something, sometimes it helps just making anything. And in this case, we'll be making some random drawings. And we'll be learning to kind of let go of that, like, perfectionist version of ourselves. Because God knows I have had that, especially with my writing. I write scripts and I rewrite them for years and years and years, and I just never am satisfied with where it is. And like, look, I get it, like, no, you shouldn't be. Oh, I didn't have my mic on that entire time. Excuse me. And in that vein, I totally get it. The problem is that you can't really show people, you can't really get your work out there, you can't really get better opportunities if you never finish something. So that is going to be our operative word today. Homework today will be to join me on my journey and follow and do as I do. And hopefully with this in mind, you'll be able to kind of like be like, okay, you know what, this isn't that bad. If I'm willing to make some stupid looking drawings or whatever, or turn these squiggly lines into something interesting, then that'll be good. So that's tip number 3. Let's get right into that right now. So we got ourselves some piece of paper, we got ourselves our pen, we got ourselves our Sharpie, and then now we're gonna just have a lot of fun. So you can actually see the camera like here. That's mainly because I don't want this to fall on itself and break my lens. So just gonna have to live with it. All right, so I think, all right, before we go to that guy, we're going to go with this Sharpie here. Now, there's a bunch of different Sharpies that you can use. You can use a smaller Sharpie, bigger Sharpie. It really doesn't matter, just as long as it's a Sharpie. I think we'll go with even the big, the Magnum, or the Magnum. Oh, God. Wow, guys. I use Magnum only. Okay, come on, guys. Come on. You know me. Come on. All right, so the first part of this exercise is to just let loose. Don't really focus on any specific detail. Just do a bunch of random lines. Don't get bogged down. Don't think about it. Just kind of go with it. And I touch the Sharpie with my bare fucking hand. Yay! Let's go. Well, let's just use this one now too. Like I said, don't really give too much credence to any specific thing. Kind of just go with whatever your gut says. We're not really out here trying to, solve the Fibonacci sequence. We just want to get lines down onto the page. Now, as a kid, I used to kind of really do this a lot, and it would bleed over. Oh wow, none of it bled over. That's kind of new. This is really good paper then. And so, okay, now we start this process of drawing. I kind of already see something I'm interested in, so I'll kind of just go from here, kind of work our way through this. I might not talk over this part specifically, but, I'll give out some anecdotes and stuff like that, and I'll cut it if I feel like I need to. Yeah, I can definitely see. Let's do like this kind of thing, and then we'll do like this kind of thing, and then maybe it's like on a kind of a thing. So yeah, as a kid, I would do this all the time. I didn't really hate or like it. Something I like doing. Well, yeah. So I'm going to be listening to some music, and you guys will follow along with me as I draw, I suppose. Okay, so that one's done. Not my best drawing ever, but you get the idea. We're trying to just really get the juices flowing. We're not being judgmental of the drawing. We are just letting the drawing exist and kind of just do its own thing. So let's try that again. We'll do this a few more times just to kind of really get this exercise flowing. So if you're following on with me, have fun. Like I said, you all have something completely different show up on your page. And honestly, I don't know what's going to be on my page until it's already drawn it. So let's move on to the next one and get ready. Let's go. So this one, not as in love with, but it's interesting. I think to kind of pull the cityscape. It's not something I would have drawn normally, but it's kind of just like, okay, cool. Now I've like the ocean. I got a boat here, like a big flag that's hanging off this railing. Then we have these like two kind of like, I don't know, port buildings, which is pretty cool. I dig that. So let's try another one. Let's just go and see what comes out this time. Kind of want to do some funky shapes this time. Let's just go all out for shapes. The thing is, like, don't be afraid to go abstract. I think that's kind of something that people don't really allow themselves a bit to do. So. So there you go. Now we got this really weird freaking drawing, right? Like this didn't exist before, and because we allowed ourselves to kind of get kind of just funky with it, we don't really put a lot of thought into it. We just let it exist, and then we kind of create something new. All right, that's cool. Okay, all right, welcome back, and we just did 3 different drawings of different qualities. It doesn't really matter the quality of the thing. Why do I have my headphones on? The quality doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is our willingness to play, and I think that's a big thing for me. And when you're doing your sketches, you're doing your thumbnails, when you're doing this exercise, just say, hey, let it be what it's gonna be. Don't worry too much about the end result. Just say, I need to get something on the paper. What can go wrong, right? And the best part about doing this is that when you switch over to digital, you can go and you can fix the mistakes. You can go and fix the line work. You can go and redo it fairly easily. And, now you got something super quick, super lean, and something very unique, something you might not have drawn otherwise. And I think that is the big operative word here. Like, we just are trying drawing, have fun with sketching, you know, kind of being very loosey-goosey about everything, you know. I don't know if you guys like my art or not, but if you do, that's kind of how I draw. It's I'm not very structured, I'm not very contained. I kind of go off the walls and kind of draw whatever kind of comes to my brain here. And for better and for worse, you know, when it comes to architecture stuff, it's a little harder because my buildings are a little bit kind of wonky, you know. And that's fine, you know. Sometimes things are good to be wonky, and I think we have to allow the jank back into our lives a little bit. And so for me, that is kind of my process. I kind of do this a lot just for funsies every now and then when I kind of want to loosen up with my drawings and stuff like that. So there you go. Are you going to draw some of the, you know, best drawings that you ever made? No. And that's fine. We're not trying to do that. We're just trying to limber up, get some exercises going, get ourselves okay with failure, okay with jank, okay with moving on, because you won't finish the thing if you don't do that. So there you go. It's a little bit of a short and sweet video, I think. Hopefully it's not super long. I don't know. I haven't edited this video yet. Let me know what you guys think of these tips. I know they're kind of like all just like one tip, like, hey, just get a pen and paper. But it's really important to use pen and Sharpie for me, because I feel like as soon as you're able to erase the mistakes, you're already losing because you're too focused on the mistakes. The mistakes are the mistakes. Let the mistakes be the mistakes. Let them guide you to something new. And yeah, there you go. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Subscribe if you haven't, if you want to. You know, trying to get to 100. No. Subscribe if you want to. We're just, you know, I'm just making stuff for fun at this point. But, you know, hey, it'd be great if we can get, you know, this going and I can share more of my projects and stuff I'm working on with other people. So, you know, do all that kind of good stuff. I will see you in the next episode. And, yeah, until then, later, my guys.